Welcome to KGW News. I'm Blair Best. We begin tonight with breaking news. 3 people were shot and killed this afternoon in North Portland. Investigators are on the scene near University Park. That's where Art Edwards is joining us now. And Art, what more can you tell us?
Now, Blair, I'm standing here on the edge of University Park. Behind me, you can see the shooting scene itself. There are 2 cars that are in the road right there that were involved in this. It all happened at about 12:30 this afternoon is what police tell us. Police say that they got calls about a shooting, people hearing gunshots from people living in this neighborhood. When the officers arrived, they found 3 people dead from gunshot wounds in the car in the intersection of North Foss Avenue and North Foss Court. Now, the area has been cordoned off for several blocks around the shooting scene as detectives work on their investigation. In their last update to us, they said that no motive is known at this point for the shooting and no arrests have been made, and they had not identified any suspects.
Every homicide that we respond to is significant, but anytime we have something like this, we have multiple victims, it just adds to the urgency. We know that there's a tremendous amount of community concern, and we want to assure the community that our effort is to determine what really happened here, and find who's responsible and make arrests where appropriate.
Now, investigators do remain on the scene gathering evidence right now. They've been out here for several hours, will likely be out here at least a little while longer, gathering evidence, talking to some of the people in the neighborhood to see what information they can get and if anybody knows anything about this. Multnomah County's district attorney also issued a statement today saying that he has investigators here working with Portland police on this investigation right now. Police also say that if anyone has any information about this, that they should contact Portland police. They think there might be other people in the neighborhood that they have not been able to contact and talk with yet and would like to talk with them about what happened out here. Blair?
All right, Art, thank you. And we'll have the latest on that shooting tonight at 11 and on our website, kgw.com. Well, turning now to the weather, here's a live look at our Timberline sky cam. You can see a fresh layer of powder is resting on the mountain. The Coast Range and other higher elevation spots also saw some more snow today. We'll bring you the latest from the Coast Range in a moment, but first, let's bring in meteorologist Joe Ranieri. And Joe, how much snow has the mountain seen so far today?
It's kind of wild to think. Now, when you say fresh layer, I'm thinking maybe a couple of inches. No, some places up at Timberline Lodge and Mount Hood Meadows over the last 2 days or so, last 24 hours at least up at Timberline, you've seen over 20 inches of snow. And I know it's kind of tough to tell from this camera, but it's still falling and it's going to continue to fall the rest of your Saturday and into early tomorrow morning as well. Here's a live look from our Timberline Lodge camera. We're seeing a temperature right now of 21 degrees. And if you were so lucky, some people on the west side and the higher elevations earlier this morning woke up to a little bit of some snow, especially near the Tigard area. There's been some reports about 2 inches earlier this morning. Heading into the rest of tonight, showers and thunderstorms potentially, but again, that cold air remains in place. Snow levels will be dropping down to 500 feet again tonight and into tomorrow. So some of us could be waking up to a little mix of some rain and snow showers at times, but by the tomorrow morning, or I should say the afternoon hours, we'll be seeing more scattered showers. As we look at the radar right now, we have been seeing some scattered showers here the last couple of hours up and down the I-5 corridor, but one thing that hasn't stopped are those snow showers, and that's going to continue to stay in play, or at least over the next several hours and into tomorrow. So if you're going to be sticking around for spring break, hoping for some spring skiing, there is going to be plenty of fresh powder for you. I'll have more look at your detailed forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, sounds good. Well, this morning, many woke up to a dusting of snow across our area, especially at those higher elevations. Now, while it didn't stick around for long, Alma McCarty was in the Coast Range as many travelers began spring break in not so spring-like conditions.
Although the snow was starting to melt around midday, there was a lot more of it earlier Saturday morning, and it came as a welcome surprise to drivers heading to the coast.
Whether the start of spring break or a quick day trip, travelers found themselves in a winter wonderland winding their way west.
We didn't check the weather, so we encountered some snow on the hill. It said it was a winter storm on our map app, but it really wasn't that bad.
We did not expect there to be snow. So yeah, it's really pretty and the roads look like they're being kept well.
I feel like the weather changes so much from like downtown Portland to the coast that like it could really be anything. I'm not like completely surprised, but I'm just happy that it looks so pretty. Like I love all the snow on the trees. It's like a snow globe.
Cloudy skies cleared, and despite some slowdowns and slush, drivers reported minimal issues.
The driving there was smooth, the views were beautiful, and we can't wait to continue onto the coast.
Robert Trujillo and his girlfriend, visiting from Seattle and California, arrived in Portland Friday and made the trip to Cannon Beach.
I saw the sun come out, so I think it wasn't really that bad of a storm, if you could even call it a storm.
He absolutely loves the snow.
Kevin Leese brought his dog Frankie,
Come here, Frankie. Come here, boy.
to enjoy the short-lived snowfall.
Oh, I was surprised. I live on Germantown Road and woke up and had probably about a half an inch of snow at my place. And decided, well, if there's snow at my place, there's probably snow on the Coast Range.
In higher elevations, ODOT continues to urge caution, especially when driving in the Cascades and Coast Range. They're monitoring the situation with overnight concerns about refreezing slush on the roads. In Clatsop County, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
But we have new details tonight after a shooting at the Alibi Tiki Lounge in North Portland. One person was hurt and taken to the hospital. His injuries are not life-threatening. The shooting happened Friday night. The lounge is near North Interstate and Savor. And as you can see there, dozens of PPB officers were on scene. Portland police say they ran into an angry crowd while investigating, and one officer was punched. No one has been arrested. Well, a new gun package introduced in the Oregon legislature is drawing both critics and supporters. The package consists of 3 bills. The first involves new punishments for people who make ghost guns, which are basically untraceable and undetectable. The second raises minimum age to have a gun from 18 to 21. And the third bill allows cities and counties to redirect concealed carry in public buildings. Lawmakers will discuss the bills again in a work session next Tuesday. Well, now to something that you don't see every day. Wolverines. There have been 2 confirmed sightings this week. The first was close to Portland. The small bear-like animal was first spotted Monday on McGuire Island by some people out fishing. 2 days later, it was seen in Damascus. And this morning, there was another sighting of what appears to be a wolverine and its tracks in Colton. According to biologists, they are mostly found in Canada, Alaska, even certain mountains in Oregon. And they're known to roam over 30 miles a day. And they're considered threatened here in Oregon. This is the first confirmed report of one in Oregon outside the mountains in over 30 years.
It is just incredibly rare. We were very excited when this happened. There's not documented evidence of wolverines attacking people. In the right situation, any animal can be dangerous, and so we recommend what we always recommend, which is people give animals their space, observe respectfully, and if you see this wolverine, just be happy that you had that encounter, because it is something that does not happen very often.
Well, if you're lucky enough to see this rare creature, report it to the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife and Cascadia Wild. It'll help them monitor conservation efforts. Well, the Douglas fir is Oregon's state tree, and unfortunately, they're dying off in some parts of the state at an alarming rate. Here's Tim Gordon with more.
The iconic Douglas fir, standing tall in Oregon for many centuries. But the Doug fir is not doing well, with many trees dying off in parts of southwestern Oregon.
In the hills around Medford, in the Applegate Valley, which is a little bit south of Medford, by Ashland, and really in a lot of places, even up in the Umpqua. For example, right around Canyonville.
Max Bennett is an Oregon State University Extension forester covering Jackson and Josephine counties. He led the recent study, which found approximately 250,000 Doug firs had died off between 2016 and 2019, with the die-off getting worse since. Why? The theory is that wildfires have cleared the way for Douglas fir trees to take root in new places, specifically lower elevation, hotter, drier areas.
And so when a drought comes along, and of course we've had plenty of drought in the past several years, the trees get particularly stressed for lack of moisture. and they become very vulnerable to various types of insects, and the insects get into the tree and basically finish them off.
And that leads to a cycle spiraling downward. The dead or dying trees builds up fuel loads for the next fire.
We are worried for the future, and we expect that we're going to see that this process is going to continue. We're going to see more Douglas fir dieback.
Bennett says the good news is there are tens of millions of Douglas firs in forest land across the state. That said, the loss of the affected firs is real. Along with increased fire risk, there is the loss of timber, the loss of habitat, and the danger of dead trees around homes, trails, and roadways. So what to do about it is the tough question. Forest thinning practices would help, but there's no way to get to every stand of Douglas fir affected.
But we certainly can do something to improve the situation. And if we don't do anything, we're going to be faced with even more consequences.
Tim Gordon, KGW News.